Hello everybody and welcome to our first video. I'm Hazel and this is Alistair, and we are going to bring you parts of our journey that will inspire you on your journey of self-evolution, to higher states of consciousness, to greater well-being, to better your relationships with yourself, with your partners, and what you bring and create into this world. We've both been on a very, very profound journey of healing in our own ways, but also helping each other in partnership. And this is something that is so profound, and we are so delighted to be able to share this with you. So our first video today, we've been trying to crack the codes to what do we share first, and we're just going to get on with it and start sharing and see where this journey takes us. So without further ado, like and subscribe, support our channel, and share this with other people who you know are on an evolutionary journey in themselves at the moment for self-healing, expanded consciousness, and greater well-being. So welcome myself and also Alistair. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, before we started filming, I've been struggling with the heavy energies of summer. And so I just asked Spirit, give me a word to work with. And it was retribution, which can be translated as justice, payback, or revenge. So let's talk about retribution.
Yeah, let's open that up. Justice, payback, and revenge. What a powerful subject to start with. We've definitely worked through some of those themes. One of the things that we're going to try and do as we're talking and sharing together is hopefully demonstrate to you how to go into these deep subjects and crack them open and apply them to the current themes and the energies that are playing out at the moment. So what is the theme of retribution? Why is that alive right now?
Because after lifetimes of not coming to life, of not creating our lives, because of being put down, destroyed, taken apart, bullied, abused by other people, you could spend another lifetime, several lifetimes, on not coming to life because you can't get over the fact that you were so badly mistreated. And how unfair life is. So, what is the point? That's the question that, sometimes I ask myself, I'm sure a lot of other people do, is what's the fucking point of coming to life if everybody's just going to trample all over you every time you are successful?
Yeah.
And the answer to that is, well, the best revenge is to lead a happy life. So the question is then, after that realization, if the best life is to make a happy life, how do you make a happy life, Hazel?
Well, yeah, you start living your heart's desires, and that's where it gets really difficult, because all of those places where you were hurt or bullied or put down, you have to let those parts of you come back to life again, and you have to dare to come out again and to express essentially your soul's essence, your soul desire. And it's extremely courageous to dare to live again. I mean, we've both been experiencing that, because what we've realized as well, you know, is that it's so difficult to go on an inward journey. And you know, most people, let's say the most part of the collective, they are way too comfortable to even think that they need to change anything. And yeah, everybody's got their own journey, but when you go into your inner journey to see and feel those places where you feel suppressed or where there has been injustice on you, you know, I've been bullied for like 40 years of my life, it feels. And daring to create again after seeing the truth of why those traumas were created in the first place, and then choosing for life afterwards, is much easier said than done.
Yeah.
And
Well, this is the trouble I'm having. I mean, you know my story. You can ask me questions. I'm having trouble with the physicality of it, the slavery, and you know the when I mention that word, you know, slavery, so much comes up, and I feel this huge resistance around slavery, because that is the current theme at the moment. We are in orange.
can you go into a bit more detail of that? Share a bit more about that. What does that mean? The theme of slavery at the moment, and how does that manifest?
Well, we just come out of the summer solstice. We come into Cancer. Cancer is a crab and is a representation of Mother's nature. And our mother, her nature, has been enslaved. We've enslaved nature. And that is a collective spiritual energy. And so you then have to bring that into yourself. How have I enslaved my mother? How have I enslaved my own feminine nature, so my own creativity? So I'm finding it very difficult to create in these energies at the moment, because I have to expose the slave inside me and the slaver inside me.
Yeah, the slave driver. Yeah.
Slave driver, sorry, yeah. And so there's some very difficult, hard truths that I don't think anyone would want to admit. Um, you know, we could delve into narcissistic abuse, narcissistic behavior, and how that affects it all. But I don't know, you're going to have to open me up with some questions, because this is such a big topic. I mean, you know, we could go all the way up to the slavery of how slavery began for the human race, how we're on a slave planet, or
Yeah.
how I've been enslaved in my
Yeah.
lifetime. You know, I can go big and wide, or I can go
Yeah. Well,
into
let's relate it to this first video that we're making and that we're trying to make, you know, that we've been trying to birth. We've been trying to put into creation this expression of creation, like the incredible journey that we've been on, Alistair, you know? Like, and nobody, or there's so very few people around. It's like these, you know, these three women in the background here, they know pieces of the journey. There's other people in our lives that know it. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a bridge between what we've experienced, because we know it's so valuable for others to start sharing now.
yeah.
And so coming to make this video, like, it's excruciating in itself, just to be sitting here right now and to be making this video. So what are the aspects right now that are so challenging to sit here and show up to your life, to show up in the act of creation, to make this video and to show up and share your voice, you know? And who is the slave driver behind saying, no, you can't do that. You can't share these truths. You can't share your story, whatever it is, you're not worthy. Like, what is all that?
There's several questions there. I can only answer one question, Hazel. Just give me one question, please.
Oh, why is it challenging to sit here and share your voice today and allow that creation to come through?
Because, well, I have a judgment. I have a judgment. Um, there's two ways I can answer this question. What is it in me? It's responsibility or lack of. But my judgment is nobody will listen because nobody understands. Like I went to a men's group for the first time last night to ground my consciousness, to ground my knowledge of the masculine. The gap in consciousness between the men's group and what I've learned is astronomical. And I feel in complete despair and overwhelmed about how the hell am I supposed to get my message across when people are this in this such density.
Mm,
I I tried to speak to them and on a really grounded level, and I just people aren't willing to heal. They're not willing to listen to the truth. When you're stood there right in front of them, you're going, yeah, I know what that is. I know what the antidote is. Do you want to know? Oh, go on then. What do you mean go on then? Okay, well, I'll tell you. Oh yeah, but I don't think so. Oh, okay. You don't think so, right? Okay. Okay. Right. So I don't know what to do with that. But what is it in me? It's a lack of responsibility, and it's the truth, which tastes like a kick in the bollocks, if I'm honest. And the truth is that nobody's going to create my life for me. And I have been under the false illusion that someone's going to save me
mm,
and pull me out of all this crap because I don't deserve what's happened to me.
yeah, and that's the
And
injustice,
that's the injustice
the
and that's the
spiritual injustice.
retribution. Yeah. So yeah, I feel and I can relate to all the men in the group. I can relate and see how, you know, there was some men sharing about um, breakups, betrayal, narcissism, body dysmorphia, you name it. And I could see myself in all of them. Agoraphobia, ADHD, all these letters that I just I don't agree with anymore because I've been through the whole journey of complex post-traumatic stress disorder and narcissistic behavior. And the, you know, after going through so much fucking pain, so much deep healing, going deeper than anyone I know, by you, is that I have to come back to life and be really fucking humble and say, yeah, I don't know how to do this. And it's such a kick in the teeth because you, I've given everything.
Mm, yeah, there's been
I've,
a lot of sacrifice, isn't there?
yeah, I mean, you're the only person who knows how much I've
Mm,
given. You're the only
mm,
person. And, but even then, you don't know how much I've given because you're not me.
mm,
And there's still so much that has been taken from me, and I still have to give more.
mm,
And it feels really fucking unfair. And, you know, I know that's in some ways that's an illusion because I chose for it, apparently.
mm. Yeah,
Um,
I was having this trouble as well. You'll remember in January, like totally the opposite spectrum of where we are right now because we're in the summer solstice now, and in the winter solstice, I was really struggling with this energy of, oh my God, I've been through so much. I've sacrificed so much. I've learned so much through all these healings and traumas. Like, you know, people talk about doing your inner work and like for the last, I counted it up, it's over 1,000 days non-stop that we have been on this journey of healing together. Not to even count the years beforehand, right? But the intensity in which we have been moving through this. And, you know, thank you to the lockdown, it really accelerated us coming together and being able to do this work. But to actually get to a point of realizing I can't go any further in digging deep, it's really in itself quite a realization, because there comes a point when you're on your self-healing journey and you're not avoiding it anymore. You're not avoiding anything anymore. If anything, you're avoiding looking
Life.
up to the light and going, oh my gosh, I can create my life now.
Yeah.
And that's almost one of the most difficult things to start to come to terms with after having such a deep journey.
Yeah, but well, that's what I'm saying. It's the avoidance of life,
Yeah.
which is narcissism. It's narcissistic because
Mm.
because narcissism is a toxic shame avoidance system. So you're avoiding the fact that you feel shame because you can't come to life.
Yeah.
So you avoid life.
Yeah. And it's like the final lesson of death. Say, are you going to choose for life now? Because there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere left to do. You've done all the inner work. There's nothing left to do right now apart from choose for life. And it's really scary.
Yeah, well, you know, we went really deep, and I can honestly say I think I became slightly addicted to healing my past because I was under the impression I needed to heal everything before I could complete, you know, before I could start my life. And I feel like I've lied to myself. And yeah, I still don't understand it, to be honest, because there's a process where you have to purify your heart to a certain degree before you can reach higher levels of consciousness between, you know, fifth dimensional consciousness all the way up to nine, which is where we're currently at. And if you if you are impure, which essentially means your ego is controlling you, then you can't attain newer levels of healing, new levels of consciousness that are available, which not many people know are available. And how can you say this is how hard I am on myself? How can I say I'm pure if I still have demons inside me?
And what do you mean by demons? The egoic voice.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good question. Because demons are just a human construct. So what I mean by demons are distortions. So a distortion, the distortion of being hard on myself, um, the distortion of pride, of coming down to earth and creating my life instead of going, oh wow, I can speak to aliens. Oh wow, I can speak to gods and goddesses. Oh wow, I can dance with Marilyn Monroe. That was a highlight. Um, yeah. So how can I say I'm pure if I've still got all that to heal,
Mm.
you know?
Mm.
And Spirit's saying, you've done enough. Create your life and the rest will happen. And that happened to me. That was a bit of a sharp turn that I wasn't expecting.
Mm.
And so I've found this transition really difficult of coming to life. But to stay on topic, about retribution, well, you keep telling me I need to find my fire, right? And I work with animal wisdom, and that is badger wisdom, to use that anger as fuel, right? And but it's a vibration, and it's finding that vibration, because there's unyielding anger where you just want to explode and destroy everything, and then there's the healthy anger where you're like, right, I'm going to write my book, I'm going to make this video, I'm going to claw
Yeah.
myself out of this hole.
Yeah.
That's badger wisdom, and it's not easy. I would say it's one of the more advanced um, medicines to embody, work with the badger. Um, wow, they're all advanced, but I struggled particularly with this badger, because, well, yeah, it's weird. Like, if I'm sat at my computer and I'm angry, I'm being told to write, when all I want to do is go and punch that person in the face, or ring them up and go, "You fucking wanker."
Yeah, so let's just clarify here is that you're actually writing your life story at the moment, because you've got an
I'm writing more than
incredible,
that. I'm
yeah,
writing more than
yeah.
that.
But you've got an incredible transformational journey that is so inspiring. And this is one of the things that you're creating in the background, is because
Yeah,
you've made a massive transition for a man.
yeah, yeah, and I
And
don't have that authority until I've finished the book, because authority comes from being an authority.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I'm writing the book about how I got here to this life, but and everything that I've been through, and all the incredible stuff we've learned through our ceremonies. But also, I'm writing a book about the original sin. The I think I'm probably the only person who's ever asked this, or maybe I'm not, but I'm certainly the first person to pursue it. And I'm not going to stop until I get there, but I'm halfway there, more than halfway. I asked many times in ceremony to Spirit, where does this come from? Where does narcissism come from?
Mm.
And I got the answer, and it was very difficult to stomach, to be honest. And I think one of our guys said, if you told if you gave a message to the world and said, look, this is what happened, there would just be a complete destruction. Everybody would just fucking kill each other, and
Mm.
just, I don't know, it would just be, it'd be fucking chaos.
Well, let's translate that from, like higher consciousness down to what is happening, like in the first person, is that when people see the truth, or they start to crack open the lies that were in their life and start to uncover and see the truth, absolute chaos goes off in them, that's untamed, that's unmanageable.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm going through, right? So I've started writing, started channeling Gaia, and through my own source, which is difficult. The true story, the origin of narcissism, and the story of Gaia. And I've read a book before where it's tried to be done, and she's got so far, and then the distortions come in, and the truth isn't there. And so I'm trying to write a book on where all of this comes from, because it's not
Mm,
ours, right?
yeah.
It's not ours, and it is ours because we
Mm,
agreed, everybody's in a karmic bond with Gaia to shift this. That's why we came here.
yeah. I think
Um,
it'd be really beautiful if we specifically made another video about that. Um, at
well, I
some
need
point.
to, yeah, I'd like to finish it first, and
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to finish it first. And I don't want to give away the story, otherwise nobody's going to buy my book.
Quite, yeah.
Yeah, but
But anyway, so
it's a
it's like to
beautiful
come back on topic, come back
atomic.
on topic a
Yeah,
little bit.
atomic. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Gosh.
yeah.
It is pretty explosive news, isn't it? Um, but in a good way, more like an explosion of the heart, I suppose. That's the
Well,
kind of
no,
journey.
but we are on topic, if you let me finish, because we're talking about retribution, right? And we're talking about
Mm,
slavery, okay? And I'm writing a book about the original sin, and the original sin is about the beginning of slavery,
yeah, yeah,
right? And it is atomic because it
yeah.
is a bomb, and it's a
Hmm.
bomb that irradiated out into the future, into the current present.
Yeah.
And if you can imagine, like that film Groundhog Day, reliving the same day over and over and over, when are you going to make a different choice?
Hmm.
Because when you keep making the same choice, you prevent retribution. You create the same day over and over. And
Yeah,
this is what
yeah.
has happened to humanity. And
Hmm.
because we've been living in a Groundhog Day, they have been able to get greater control over us and push us down into a darker hole.
Mm,
And so the key is to make a different choice, to create chaos, which is what the feminine is good at, right?
hmm.
Yeah. So like you saw me doing the other day, dancing, is
Yeah.
to create chaos, to be different.
Yeah, and that's essentially what it means to create chaos is literally to think outside the box, step outside the box, liberate yourself from the chains, the cages, the
The Matrix.
constrictions that you first of all put on yourself. So I can't do that. I see that in the creative work that I do and the work that I do with women is that they think that they come to work with me and they're like, yeah, but I'm not an artist. I can't paint, I can't draw. And I'm like, I'm not asking you to be an artist. You don't have to be an artist at all to work with me. The act of creation is the force of the feminine that says, let's create something different. let's let's
Let me.
emerge in a
Can I
new
stop
way.
you? Can I stop you? Because you just skipped over something which is massive, right? The You said how what was you said how have I you said how have I changed myself, did you say, or something like
Yeah.
that, right? So what is everyone doing at the moment? They're blaming society,
Hmm.
right? That's what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about slavery, okay? And you're talking about creating your life, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at everything online, what everybody's doing the same thing. They're blaming something or someone else for their problems.
Yeah.
They're blaming it on PTSD. They're blaming it on ADHD. They're blaming it on aliens. They're blaming it on the 1%. They're
On
blaming
the
it on
government, on the
politicians.
whatever. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, they're blaming it on politicians, right? They're blaming everyone because they're not taking responsibility,
Mm.
right? It's
Yeah.
not about
And if,
blame.
yeah, it's
Wait,
not. No.
just let me finish my point.
Yeah.
Right? So let me finish my point. Is that is the hard truth. That's what feels like a kick in the nuts. Is that you can't blame anyone. It's your
Mm.
fault because you took part in it.
Yeah.
And every day you take part in it because you make the same fucking choices. You go into
And
the
what is that?
supermarket. It's the little things like going to the supermarket and
Well,
buying food covered in plastic.
yeah.
It's
So what is it? It's the betrayal of life and love itself. It's the betrayal of your heart. You're constantly contributing towards that which does not serve your greatest well-being of your
I know,
body,
yeah,
of
I
your
know, but
heart, of love,
yeah, let me
and
give
that,
some ground. Let me give some grounded
yeah.
examples so people understand. Right? It's about participating in the machine. Like I did, like we all did. I used to work in finance. I'm participating in the machine. If you're living a career that you do not love and you're not creating your own purpose, you're part of the machine. If you're going online and you're behaving narcissistic and putting other people down, you're part of the machine. If you're not living in love and compassion, which I know is easier said than done, you're part of the machine. It's just like the film The Matrix. If you're not awake, truly awake, if you're not looking at yourself all the time instead of others,
and trying to break the patterns and break the chains
yeah,
and
then you're
take
just
away.
another agent in the machine,
Yeah,
and you can't be
yeah,
trusted.
yeah, yeah.
And
And so,
that's the hard truth.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So where is that line that turns the anger and frustration and wanting revenge? Where is that line there? That is an energy of fire and creation itself, because from destruction, creation can be born. Where does that shift then in taking responsibility for knowing that all of this betrayal, having gone through that and felt through that through 1,000 different stories that we have been exploring, how do you make that shift from, okay, I was responsible and I participated in all this destruction and betrayal? How do I now shift to uh, just the justice and taking responsibility to create something new?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, there's one thing you have to answer before you can answer that question, and that is, have you finished healing? Right? Because everybody talks about the fifth dimensional wave of consciousness that's going to wake everybody up. Well, I have some difficult news for you. You're not going to experience fifth dimensional consciousness if you haven't done the work.
Yeah,
Because we moved over to fifth
facts.
dimensional consciousness 2 years ago, so it's
Yeah,
already here.
yeah,
um, the
yeah,
and and it's not just all love and light. You don't just go, oh, we're in fifth now, woohoo, let's have a party. No, you've got to clean all your shit that's left over from the third and the fourth. You've got to
mm.
clean it. And so you sorry, what was the question again? You're asking how.
How do you shift from having
Yeah,
those
okay,
stark
yeah,
realities of
yeah,
destruction and now take responsibility for creation of it,
yeah.
something
So
new?
so once you've cleaned all your dark stuff, once you've cleaned all your shadow, and you've come to understand what the ego is and how to shrink it, and um and you're ready to come into life, then it's not just one thing. This is the difficulty, because it's, from working with animal wisdom, it's about taking the smallest steps to create the bigger picture. So there's, I work with I'm not going to confuse everyone with animals.
Yeah, not
But
yet.
no, but you have to create the small steps, but first you have to have this really headfuck realization that you don't know what you're doing, and you're not going to know what you're doing until you create it.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that is a really difficult pill to swallow. So,
Mm.
how do you create something that you don't know you're creating?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Because
you got to you've
there
just got
is,
to sit down and start creating,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that's one of the ways of coming to life. And it's like that book Atomic Habits.
Mm,
It's the true integration of that. So the atomic habits are sticking to those small habits. Like, for example, um, if you say you want to, if you say you want to have a purer heart, be healthy, then, like me, if you really, really enjoy eating meat, but you were ignorant as how about the cruelty to animals, then you've got to make the step over to cutting out meat out your diet, like I've done. And you take small steps to that, because it doesn't just happen straight away. It's like cutting alcohol out of your life. You can't just say, okay, right, that's it, no more alcohol. You have to do it gradually and slowly, and pay attention
mm,
to how it destroys your life,
yeah,
and how it destroys your dreams, and how it destroys you coming to life.
yeah.
And
And it's
so
actually a path of going, because people think, oh yeah, I'm going to go on this new plan, this fitness plan, or I'm going to give it alcohol or something, and they're like, oh, because that will make me better. So they're trying to accelerate into a better life. I've tried this so many times, with
yeah,
failed diets, with failed
yeah,
missions, with
yeah,
failed structures. But
Yeah.
actually, what you've got to do is you've got to go down. Like, you know, I've
Okay.
got the root chakra color here. So you've got to go down into discovering all of that which has kept you from being healthy to yourself in your life.
Yeah.
And then you automatically just start rising.
Yeah. But you've just opened up something brilliant. Is why do all those people do the exact same thing as everyone else? Right? Everybody does the same thing. Everybody goes on a diet. Like we just talk about food, yeah. Everybody does the same thing, you know, and everybody argues about the right thing to eat, the right way to exercise, the right way to sleep. Everybody argues about that because
Mm-hmm.
everybody thinks they know better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the real answer. The real answer is do what's right for you,
Mm-hmm.
but don't do it. Don't read on the internet. Oh, I should go fasting. I should go vegan. I should go vegetarian, plant-based, whatever, right? Ask your fucking body, please. Just ask your
Well, this
body.
is the thing. This is the thing, you know, because as we've been cleaning down into the body, the intuition, like the vessel, the body gets clearer to be able to hold high states of consciousness.
Yeah.
So then you're able to receive that wisdom of your body speaking to you about what you should be doing, how you should be creating, like your business, your body, you know, how much water, what exercise, you know, even like lovemaking or all of that stuff. That just starts coming through the intuition. But that's literally why you're not going to get to fifth dimensional consciousness or above if you haven't cleared your vessel, because there will come a point where you literally cannot fake it. You literally cannot go any further.
Yeah, let's talk about that briefly. So you're talking about the chakras here. Not many people know this, but the bottom three chakras and the half of the heart, so the bridges in the middle, the bottom three are the body chakras, and the top three are the soul chakras. And so the true healing, true fifth dimensional consciousness is full soul embodiment. And the only reason we don't walk on earth with our soul embodied fully in our bodies is because of the great separation caused by the ego. It stops us from meeting ourselves in the heart. So you have to go into the root, and I'm speaking for men here, but I know this works for women as well, is going into the root, which is the scariest place to go, and cleaning that out and creating a connection with the earth chakra, with Gaia, right? Because that's where the power comes from the man, for the man. But most people in the spiritual community, they work with the top three chakras. They're like love and light, yeah, love and light, baby. But they don't talk about their trauma, and so they don't fully actually understand what it
Mm,
means to be a shaman and what it means to do the work,
yeah,
because nobody wants to go into the root. And I totally get it. I totally understand why, because what's in there is not very nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And what's in the sacral is, you know, not very nice either.
Mm,
And the red is the first dimension, orange is which is also the earth chakra. Um, the orange sacral chakra to second dimension is the water chakra, which is about passion, but its dark side is slavery, and this is what we're currently at. On the picture behind you,
mm,
that's the current energies we're at,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then we move into the yellow, which will be fertility and the third dimension. So we're moving all the way up. Um, yeah, sorry, I've gone off on a
yeah.
tangent.
I think we're going to have to do a lot of videos about that, darling, because there's so much profound information and new ways in which we have seen through fifth dimensional and above consciousness through our journeys of how the ways in which the different energy systems are now working in the body. And it's more than just, oh, let's go up and down the chakras. It's like there's a whole other thing working there. So I think we're going to have to, well, we will definitely do some videos about that. But anyway, let's wrap this up for today. I think we can congratulate ourselves, first of all, for doing our first video. So yeah, well done us for sharing our voice and getting it out there and trying, you know, not trying to be authentic, being as authentic as we can, learning how to share. It's difficult. It's really difficult when you've been such a hermit. Like, you know, often we talk about me as like being this banished witch in the woods, you know, it's like now I'm having to come out, and you like been this, you know, this hermit shaman in a cave for like eons, and now we're having to come out of a cave.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say the hermit, because the shadow of the hermit is not coming out, not coming to life.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So
about
these,
holding the light within, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
not doing anything about it.
yeah, yeah. So this is what it's about. So this is the retribution, this is the justice, and this is the, yeah, this is where the justice is that no matter what you've been through, and this is what you get on the other side of doing the hard work, is that you come to a point of complete annihilation and death and destruction, that you can't go any further, and you have to turn around with love and compassion deeply towards yourself and others and everything on your journey, and say, I'm going to step forward and start creating a new life now. And therein lies a profound responsibility, because of the work and the deep journey that we've done, you know, we get to die before we actually die. We get to live again. We get to live a new life, free from that slavery of our egos and the trauma of our past, you know, our life so far today, but also past lifetimes. We get to live again. So therein lies the responsibility. So my question to the audience today is, first of all, how do you feel that you can face the responsibility of accepting your own healing journey to go deeper? And second of all, how can you create something new? How can you break the old cycles to create something new from a place of love? Is there anything
Yeah.
else you'd like to add?
Yeah, how can you stop entertaining your own stories and start entertaining others with your stories?
Yeah, beautiful. That's what we're doing. But yeah, that's beautiful. So please like and subscribe. It's been beautiful to start sharing our voice with you. Share this with others. We have got some real hot gold gems coming for you, seriously. And check out the links below that we're going to put to the links to our work. And yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, not today.
Yeah. No.
As you said, you know, we've got a lot of gold. I mean, wow, there's so much to get out,
Yeah.
so much to share. I just hope people are willing to hear us.
They will. What was it? Speak and they shall come, or whatever the saying was.
Isn't that Wayne's World?
Anyway, lots of love to you, beautiful people. It's really beautiful to share and start to get to know the people out there who are on the same path, who are willing to learn, evolve, and create a better new reality. So bye for now.
Bye bye.